them together and woo! Wow, this is a rocket.
The 80s called. They want their bike back.
What's up guys, welcome back to the Yamaha XJ650 Turbo restoration. In the last video I took this bad boy out on its first test ride. No, please don't do this to me. It started with a major fuel leak. She stalled. Man, she was so flooded it was shooting gas out of the exhaust, which then kind of just went away. I think it was just a sticking carburetor float, and it eventually sealed up. And then I killed the battery a few times trying to start the bike, I think because it was flooded. So we have some things to do in today's video. The main thing is that I want to take this on a longer ride because I didn't even really get to feel the turbo or the power of this bike at all because it was just kind of bogging down, and it was the first ride. We learned a lot of things. I had some good suggestions in the comments, so let's do some of those suggestions. First thing I want to check is the oil level, because when a bike floods that bad, it has a tendency to send some of that gas into the engine, into the crankcase, and I don't want that. It thins out the oil, it doesn't lubricate well. We're going to find out if the gas did indeed get into the oil. So let's lean the bike over and check the sight glass. You can see the oil level there maybe. I don't know if you can see it, but once the bike's level, the oil level is right about in the middle there, which is perfect. That's exactly where it was before the bike flooded out. So we're good. In the next video I will change the oil and filter, but I don't have the new filter yet, so we're just gonna rock it for one more ride. The next suggestion was that maybe the bike was bogging down because the battery was at such low voltage from just killing it after starting the bike for so long. So I've charged up the battery, nice fresh fully charged battery. Let's see if we still have this bogging problem with a fully charged battery. I do like this suggestion. This one makes good sense. With certain bikes, if the battery is dead or too low a voltage, it's not going to fire the coils properly. There could be a lot of electrical problems. The CDI is not getting enough voltage, and it can lead to some bogging and some stuff like that. So it's definitely quite possible that the low voltage battery was causing the bogging down issue, but it could also be carburetor related, as a lot of people have said, or it could be engine compression. There we go. I mean, a fresh battery cannot hurt. For the next suggestion, I've got to pull the seat back off. The next suggestion that I'm going to try is to oil the air filter, and this is not obviously going to make the bike run any better, but it can definitely make the bike last longer. It's something that I should have done and I didn't even think about. The previous owner replaced the air filter with a big piece of foam, and the foam's in good shape. It's not disintegrating or anything. It's just really hard to find the air filter for this bike. It seems like it's not available anymore, and someone even sent me a 3D printing file to make my own air filter, which would be cool, but I don't have a 3D printer. So I'm just going to use this one for now until maybe I can find a new air filter to buy. But it's not bad. I mean, it's 2 layers of foam. It's in good shape for now. The reason that you want to oil these foam air filters, I guess, is because they don't filter out fine particles without the oil. Son of a bitch. Man, I don't really want to have to rebuild the engine from small dust particles raking havoc inside of it, so I'm just going to oil up this air filter. It seems like the easier thing to do. I also found out that this might actually be the reason for my warning light that was on the dash. This is a battery electrolyte meter or sensor, I guess. This meant to go inside the battery and I don't know, test something that is irrelevant because I have a sealed battery. It looks like someone did install a resistor to try to fix the warning light from coming on, but I think it's still coming on. But we'll find out. Now let's see about this warning light on the dash. It was even blinking when I was riding the bike, but we might be able to get that to go off by pushing this warning control button. I think we need to get the bike running first. Seat's going back on because I'm gonna try to take this thing on another ride here. I had a lot of different suggestions from a lot of people on trying to get this bike running right. I really appreciate all those suggestions, but if I listen to all of those, I'd be running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And yeah, so let's get this thing back outside and see if it'll start up easier now that it's maybe not flooded like crazy. It seems like that fuel leak problem kind of just fixed itself. I think it was a float that was stuck open, and once the bike was running, it unstuck because it didn't have any leaks anymore. So I'm gonna open the petcock valve back on. I really need to do something about that. It's so hard to turn. Okay, fuel is on. Let's try to start this bike up again. Maybe it'll be in a better mood today. Choke on here. Before, it was only starting in wide open throttle and the choke seemed to make things worse. So I think that might have just been because it was flooded. Today I'm gonna try with the choke on. Let's see what happens. All right, let's see how she's feeling today. Oh, it's starting much better. Oh yeah. That's a good sign. It actually started up easy with the choke on. I'm gonna just turn the choke off now. Halfway off, let it warm up a little bit. Oh yeah. Started up really good today. Man, it is sounding good today. No issues. Let's try this button to turn off this warning light. Yep, 2 taps of that warning light and it turns off. That's weird. Sounding good today though. Woo! Now I'm going to check to see if the battery charging system is working with the multimeter. 20 volts DC. Oh yeah, 15.24 volts. That actually might be overvolting. I'm not sure, but 15.4 volts might be too much. We might need to put a new voltage regulator. I don't know. That might be too high. Bike running is to see what the temperature of each exhaust pipe is. That one's cold. 200. 203. It seems like the left cylinder is cold still. I'm gonna kill it, get my helmet on, and then we'll go for another test ride. Okay, we're going on a ride, and hopefully this one goes better than the one last night, but it's not raining, so it's already an improvement. And it does not like to start up without the choke on. There we go. I mean, it seems to idle and run pretty good. Do I have to turn that warning light off every time now? All right, let's see what she'll do today. We gotta get cylinder number 1 to wake up. Oh! I can feel a little bit of power coming back. Seems like cylinder number 1 might be waking up. Whoa! Okay. I don't know. It's running much better than yesterday, and I really didn't even do anything. We do have the fresh battery in here. That could have fixed it. I don't know. Wow. It's feeling pretty dang good, guys. I'm gonna turn around. I don't wanna be going down hills. Let's go up this hill while it's running good. I don't want to get stranded again like yesterday. Wow, turbo lag is real. Wow, guys. I think I need to get this thing on some open roads, maybe during the daytime actually, so we can really see what this thing can do, but it's feeling way better than yesterday, that's for sure. I think it was just so flooded out it wasn't running good, but now it's... Wow, that turbo is crazy. Once it hits in, man, I really feel it. I don't know, I'm not really worried about it stalling out like it did yesterday. Back brake is not good. Front brake is slow, sluggish, but they work. Put the two of them together and... Woo! Wow, this is a rocket. I can't believe it's running so much better than one day ago. It was stalling out and left me stranded. As much as I would love to go take this thing to Redline, this is my first, I mean, this is only my second test ride. I gotta be a little bit conservative here. Wow. Yep. Okay, now let's get it home. Check the exhaust header temperatures now and see if we got cylinder 1 to wake up. I still hear a little bit of a miss maybe. Got a little bit of smoke coming from somewhere. I don't know what is smoking. Might just be because this bike sat for so long. This is probably the warmest it's been in like 10 years. Alright, let's check these temps now. 93, 400, 412, and 300. So yeah, cylinder number 1 is still awake, I think. I think we should figure that out before we ride it anymore. Something is smoking. Oh, it's this exhaust right here. I think it was just all that gas was in the exhaust system yesterday. Probably burning off, but pretty good for a second test ride. I think we need to figure out what's going on with cylinder 1, check the spark plug, cap, boot, and all that. But even with one cylinder partially not running, man, it is feeling really fast. I can't imagine what it feels like with all 4 cylinders fully running. We gotta find out why this cylinder 1 isn't firing, so I'm gonna pull the spark plug out and check for spark. Ooh, very wet looking and black. Now I'll plug it back into the boot. It's a very weak spark, if anything. It's almost wanting to run. Just got shocked. I have another spark plug here. Let's just test it, see if it gives any different results. Oh yeah. Dang. This spark plug had a way brighter spark. So that leads me to believe there's just something wrong with this spark plug that was in there. Just looked it up and it turns out that this BR8ES is actually the correct spark plug for this bike. The bike calls for resistor spark plugs. For some reason, someone put in these B8ES spark plugs in this bike, which are non-resistor spark plugs. So since this one's sparking nice and good, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in and then order a set of all 4 new spark plugs for this bike. But I just wanna see if this actually does fix the problem. All right. If that fixes it, that's gonna be the easiest fix ever. Let's get this bike outside and see if it'll run on all 4 cylinders. Woo!